Well, it is officially springtime, even though it may not look like it outside for some of you. But time to get back to the basics, time to get back in the kitchen and whip up another recipe, so let's go. Hello everyone! Welcome back to the Thrifty Spies! So, apparently it's spring. I beg to differ. But it's here, and when I was growing up, whenever we'd go to a party, my family and I, this was like the only dish my mother would make are her deviled eggs. Probably the easiest recipe in the entire world. It doesn't even feel like a recipe, because even when I asked her for like the correct amount of everything she put into it, she's like, well, I don't really have a recipe, just a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And I'm like, all right. But it couldn't be any easier to do. These ingredients, I know you have them in your fridge. You can't get any easier than eggs, mayonnaise, salt and pepper, and a little Dijon mustard. I mean, really. They're so classic to me, and they're really near and dear to my heart. And I'm telling you, they can't be beat. They will be gone in seconds. Everyone loves them. They're so cute, and they're the perfect finger food at any party. I'm just gonna take you over the ingredients really quickly, what you're gonna need for this fabulous recipe, so let's get to it. Alrighty, like I said, really simple ingredients, and here they are. You will need a dozen of large eggs. You will need half a cup or so of just, good old-fashioned mayonnaise. You'll need 1.5 teaspoons of country Dijon, not regular Dijon. It's gotta be the country Dijon. So good. Salt and pepper to taste, a little paprika to put over the top, as a garnish, and of course a big pot of water to cook the eggs in. So, I have got a large soup pot filled with cold water, filled, like almost all the way. And now we're gonna put the eggs in here. You gotta put the eggs in cold water before you boil them. You don't wanna boil the water and then throw the eggs in. It's just not gonna cook evenly. When you put the eggs in now with the cold water and heat it up together, it cooks really evenly, because we gotta hard boil these eggs. So let's bring this to the stove. Perfect. And now I'm gonna turn the heat on to the highest setting. Okay, so you can see the water has come up to a boil. So I'm keeping the lid on, but I'm turning the heat off. Now I'm just gonna set my timer to 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, we're gonna drain the eggs, and then we will get peeling, and yeah. It has been 10 minutes. Now it's time to drain these eggs. So obviously you should use a strainer. For me, I don't have one. Just making sure I get all the hot water out. You know the drill. So I'm gonna bring them over. So we gotta let the eggs cool down a little bit before we can start handling them and cracking the shell. You can just leave them like in a pot or a separate bowl to cool for like 5 minutes, or you can speed up the process by putting the hard cooked eggs into some just really cold water. So I'm just gonna leave those in the really cold water for about like 4 to 5 minutes, and then we'll start cracking. And now we're going to crack eggs. I'm pretty sure all of you know how to crack a hard-boiled egg, but in case you don't, then this is the way I do it. So on the bottom, see, that's the top, on the egg, I always crack the bottom like that, just like on a hard surface. And then lightly tap it all the way around. Get a little bowl right beside you, and just peel off those suckers as best as you can. Now just a little patience, and there you go. And they peel like a gem. And it's nice to have this bowl of water towards you, because you can like kind of dip your hand in it if you got little bits of shell on you. Kind of dip the egg in it, get rid of those shells. And now I'll just put it in a separate bowl. I'm gonna continue to do this process with the rest of the eggs, and then I'll show you what to do next. So after that very labor-intensive peeling, it's not that bad, trust me. It takes a little time, but anything worth doing is, you know what I'm saying. All right, so I got my hard-boiled cooked eggs, and they are peeled, and we are ready to go. Okay, so here we go. It really couldn't get any easier, but you don't want to, okay, so you don't want to cut them like that, you're gonna cut them vertically. And the yolk should be perfectly cooked, should not be overcooked at all, and it is. It is yellow, it is fantastic. For now, I'm just gonna put them on the platter. I'm gonna put the egg yolks back into this bowl when the time comes, but for now I'm just gonna keep slicing and then set them aside, and then I'll show you what we're gonna do next. And now, here's the fun part. I mean, all of it. All of this is fun to me. It takes some time, but it's really worth it, so trust me. So I'm getting in there with a spoon and just getting out. Oh, that's not a very good demonstration, but as gently as you can without breaking it like I just did. Just try your best to scoop out the hard cooked yolk. Or I guess it'd be easier to use, actually that is a lot easier to use the opposite end of your utensil. Okay, got all my egg yolks into a bowl. These are the instructions my mother has told me. Get a fork and get in there and mash it up with your fork. Just to, break up those really big chunks of egg yolk. Make it all kind of consistent, like the same size. Okay, at this point, I'm just gonna season it with some salt and pepper to taste, always to taste. So right here, I just got some good old-fashioned mayonnaise, and I'm gonna start out with about a half a cup and see where I'm at. In the meantime, I'm gonna add the secret weapon, Grey Poupon Country Dijon Mustard. Every time I smell it, it reminds me of being a kid and smelling this when my mom was making the deviled eggs and be like, ew, what is that? But it is so good. So I put in about like a teaspoon's worth. You don't want to put in too much because it can be quite overpowering. And you just want to get it, to a smooth consistency. That's really it. That's really all you're doing. It's not too like mushy. It's just, this is right. That's really good. You know what? I don't think it needs anything else actually. It's the way I saw my mom making it. She would just take a spoon, simply just nestle as much as she can into the egg half. There you go. I mean, you can put in as much as you'd like, This is really to your liking. And the way to make them like pop out a little bit, this is what my mom would do. She would just sprinkle on just a little bit of paprika, just like so. It already like pops out, it looks really pretty. It looks like you put in a lot more work than you actually did. And there you have it. This is so good. I'm just gonna go for one. I gotta give it a try. It just automatically makes me feel like I'm at my aunt's house at when someone's having a birthday party or like an Easter get together. Something about it, it's so like luxurious and decadent, and just they've caught on, and for good reason. I'm not gonna be able to stop stuffing my face. So thank you so much again for spending a little time with me today, and I know you're gonna love them, and your friends and family are gonna love them, and you should freaking make them. Do it now! Happy eating, have a good one, and as always, I will catch you later. Until next time, get the heck out of here. Why are you so good?